Good evening, folks. I'm not going to blame him, but that was a horrendous mistake. Can you hear me? Please give me thumbs up if you can hear me. Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. Now, what's his name? What is his name? Can you hear me? Please, can somebody give me the thumbs up if you can hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up. Can you hear me clearly, people? Clearly. Yeah, big up to everybody. Love and light. Tom, I'll send you the link if you're about. I'll send you the link, but big up to all of you. Manchester United, third defeat, conceded 4, conceded 3, conceded 3. Yeah. Leaking FC, mate. We're leaking. Absolutely leaking. Manchester United are leaking. I don't know what else, how to dress it up. Again, I'm not going to talk about it because we started off all right. Did we? We started off, but at the end of the day, starting it off all right and conceding a goal, it's painful to watch. It's literally painful to watch. And the second half, we got schooled. No positives for me to take from there. No positives. Casemiro getting 2 goals. When's Casemiro ever going to get 2 goals? It is what it is. But smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, people. Come and get the therapy. I already give you Onana. What's your name? Listen, actually, I was quite disappointed with his shot stopping on Saturday. That mistake that he made. I think most goalkeepers made that. And I know that he's not going to make that every week. So I'm actually going to forgive him. I'm actually going to forgive him for that mistake. But there's no positive to take. If anybody tries to tell you there's positive to take from the second half, Manchester United got schooled. And you look at how much fucking space Kimmich has on the ball to look up and play that young kid who just come on. Painful, but painful. Comedy FC. Comedy defending. It is what it is. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Bombaye, welcome to the stream.
Thank you. Good evening. How are you, people? Nice to see everybody. I like pain, just so you know. I'm used to it now. That's how I roll.
I don't like pain. But my
we better get used to it, my brother.
For some strange reason, I keep going into these games expecting something different. Today not so much, but I don't like. Again, I expected us to lose. But there is a way to lose. Like there is a way to lose a game. And this shit that I'm seeing, honestly, I'm finding the words are not just coming to me to explain how irritated I am with everything that I've seen so far in this season. But produce the because.
Do you know? I tell you what, boys. It doesn't sound like you're gonna like this, but here goes anyway. The usual. I think there's a lot of positives to take from a game like that, personally.
Where?
Yeah, I really do.
What? And where?
Well, at least, Sean, isn't it nice that I come and make it interesting for the people at least?
No, but like this is like saying that like a fire. It's like saying a fire burned down your house, and somebody says, "Well, positive, at least your cutlery survived." At least...
Or you could say I'm a Zoroastrian. We worship fire. So there you go. Look. Shall I give you my 2 cents, or do you want to go and demolish the team? Then I'll give us the 2 cents. It's up to you three. It sounds like three are the three amigos.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
you
People,
sure you're ready
subscribe
for
to the
it?
channel. Smash that notification button, people, and subscribe to the
All
channel.
right. So
Like, share.
some objectivity. So for me, first half, I really like what I'm seeing. We're in the game. Um, we're looking
First
good.
half
I
FC.
thought
Here
we
we
were.
go. Here we go.
I thought the
First
shape.
half. First 28 minutes
No,
FC.
let me
Here
do
we
this.
go.
Come on, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this.
First 28
We
minutes.
I thought we put in a really good shift. The shape was very good. The only part where they were getting any joy is when on Rashford's side, they kept firing that ball out to their winger, and then they were getting at us. Other than that, I thought we were very good.
But yeah, I don't
Um,
know if we watched the I don't know if we watched the same game. But I
mm,
didn't see anything. I didn't see anything at all from this game. And I think I'm starting to understand how Nerdin gets triggered because I'm starting to get triggered by this we played well for 20 minutes narrative that people want to insist.
no, no, I don't think
It's
20 minutes
it's
more.
not a 20-minute game. It's not a 30-minute game either. This is like Donald Trump saying stop the count. Okay, stop the count. Once it's 20 minutes, let's just stop
Sure,
there and
yeah,
end the match. But it's
true.
not. It's a 90-minute game. It means absolutely nothing. It means nothing that we played over 20 minutes. That's
I'm
that's
not,
that's
Sean. I'm not saying we played for only 20 minutes. I think the way that the game happened, the way that the narrative of the game developed, um, every game lives its own life, as Jarvis said. This game, for me, we were in this game constantly. That first goal, man. Um, I don't know what we do with that. That changes the game completely. And
I don't.
then the second goal for me is a disaster. There's no way you can let Musiala cut inside when he's at the byline. Either you see him out or he has to go backwards. And then once he does get inside, which is a travesty, I've got Gnabry all alone, got time to slot that in, and we have three defenders in the box. What are they doing? What's Lindelof doing?
What
What's
what what I
Bumbaye,
saw.
Bumbaye, let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. How many times have we seen that second goal this season? Carbon copy. How many times?
We
the
saw it
reason
three
I'm
times last week, at
yeah,
least against
we did,
Brighton. We saw it three times.
we did.
Yeah.
I think for me tonight, I don't look at Ten Hag at all. I look at the keeper. He kills us with that. The second goal, there's no way as a professional footballer he can come inside like that. There's just no way. It's impossible. And
Um,
the defenders
um,
have to pick up Gnabry. At that point, boys, you're giving yourself a monumental challenge. You're at Munich against one of the best teams in the competition. Look at the injury list as well. Look at the team that you fielded out. I've got
let's
to take all this on board, people. I can't just.
No, no, but Bomaye, even if we take all the exigent factors, all the mitigating factors, let's take all the things that you're saying, provide more context. It doesn't still warrant the performances that we've seen so far. It doesn't. I don't agree that what we're seeing now is the end result, or is the only option, or is the only path, or is the only thing that can happen. No, the manager is making choices. When I saw that lineup with Ericsson in the midfield, I knew we were going to lose because every single big game where we've played Ericsson in the midfield, we've lost. It's predictable. Rashford has been playing crap throughout the season.
Who
Casemiro
would you
has
have
looked
put
weak.
there?
Look, I one of my one and let me trigger some people, but one of my most radical opinions when it comes to football
Yeah,
is that the output on a pitch, only about half of it, 50%, is your actual skill or ability. For me, the remaining 50% is mental. Now, you tell me, Bumaye, what other reason does Rashford have to play well other than personal pride?
I
As
thought
in,
for me, Rashford this evening played very well.
I, I'm,
Very
I'm
well.
sorry, I didn't see it that way. I think his defending or lack of defending is costing us. His failure to track back is
I think
costing
I
us.
think to be fair, I think it was
I
better.
think
It was better tonight, but it
It was
wasn't
marginally
perfect.
better.
for me, Rashford this evening. What you see? There's a narrative that exists with Marcus Rashford that will stay and will be constant, and I will buy that narrative, which is Marcus. At this point in your career, as a player that is a very important part of this team that sees a lot of our ball, we need you to choose the right decisions. This is something that will stand. However, the positives that Marcus Rashford always gives me, Um, Tonight he has the beating of that defender. He skinned him time and time again. He finds Hoyland, he finds Region from the right, he finds Garnacho. Garnacho can do better with that. He found the right choices this evening, if you look at it. At times he had to cut back inside and he didn't go berserk. It wasn't blind alleys. Okay, we pass it off easy. But Marcus tonight was causing problems for them. And okay,
Bumaye,
he-
I want to beg you. I want to beg you, Bumaye, to go back and watch the goals, especially the first goal. 28 minutes into your first Champions League match in the Alliance Arena, Rashford's defending or his tracking or his covering of the runner that went past him was criminal. Like you guys keep talking about standards, the standards of a Man United team. It's unacceptable to me. I cannot accept that Rashford is the kind of player who like deserves to be walking around the pitch or who, because of his contribution goal-wise, doesn't have to put a shift in. Now, I would agree with Tom that he was better than last week because he moved from 5% to 10%. That's still horrible. That's still not good enough. None of these guys showed up today, and I blame the manager wholeheartedly. In where I work, or like in places I've worked
no,
before,
bro.
we have a saying called cooking beans. Um, Cooking beans is when you're making a mistake. You cook beans, you made a mess, and now there's shit everywhere. That's what Ten Hag is doing. He's stirring a beans pot of nonsense that's causing a huge mess in the team. The main thing I wanted from Ten Hag,
Whoa,
what I
whoa, whoa,
wanted
whoa,
from
whoa,
him.
whoa, 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 whoa. Somebody loves me, man. Big up Sherbert 0161 all day, every day.
I don't
Somebody,
know where
Yo,
I
that's
don't know
better
where
than the sponsored ones for me.
I don't
and
know where
Yeah,
the
then the
respect is
second
3.2
love.
person
come
said
from.
this. The second person said positive Patty. Cut, I'm off.
No,
Yo,
so
do you know that money that you get from the comments? Are you paying people to give me shit?
but my where I would agree with you, and I think where we all are on the same page is that like I am willing to be patient. It's just very irritating to see this. So I've revised my expectations now. From top four, I just want us to finish in the top half of the table. That's what I want from this
Look,
season. Just give me
I know, Sean. I feel your pain and I comprehend the pain. But
Oh
look,
na na, what's a
what's
shite?
my name?
Oh na
Oh, nah,
na,
nah. But
what's
look,
that?
I'll sum it up like this for you
Listen, I'm
guys,
gonna
right?
say this to you guys. I'm gonna say this here. Let me come in here now. Eric Ten Hag's stubbornness is gonna get him the sack, and him
Why do you
playing
say that?
Ericsson
Why
as
do
a
you
it's
say
number
that?
eight
costing
is
him,
gonna get him the
Bomaye.
sack.
It's costing him. His
Why
stubbornness
do
is
you say
costing
that
him.
tonight on tonight's game?
The
What's he been
stubbornness,
stubborn
the
about?
stubbornness of
What's the
Ericsson.
stubbornness?
Ericsson, when you've got Casemiro that looks like he's 75 years old, right, in midfield, you can't put a guy who's
Okay,
got a pacemaker
I
next to
want to
him.
ask you
I'm not
this
having
then.
it. I'm not having it. I'm
Hang
not
on.
having
Don't
Ericsson
lose your shit.
as
Don't
a
lose your
number
shit.
8.
Who
I'm
do you
not.
play tonight? Who do you play tonight?
You know who I play tonight? Dan Gore,
Thank
Hannibal.
No,
you, thank you, Nuruddin. It's a false. It's a false choice. What you're putting forward to us is a false choice. That there's
no,
nobody else who
boys.
could play. It's a false choice, basically.
Look,
All you needed in the midfield today was legs. Don't tell me that we do not have any other option. Play freaking Dan Gore. Play Hannibal. Play anybody fucking else other than the predictable Ericsson. You could predict against Arsenal that in the midfield of Ericsson and Casemiro, we would lose. Predict
What's
no.
against
both of
Bayern,
the
against
goals back?
Brighton.
He
What more
cost
do
us
you
2
want?
goals tonight. The
Look,
handball is unlucky, but he cost us the first goal, and he cost us the first goal. Watch it
look. I
again.
wanna take you back to something. Just give me a second here, just to let me land, and I want to take you back to something. When we look at Eric Ten Hag's Ajax, the heartbeat of that team was Frankie De Jong. This is the player that was the most important acquisition for us when he came into the club, and he like died to get him. This is why we tried so hard to get that player. Now we haven't got that player. You know what you've got is Casemiro, who's at the moment struggling a little
Is
bit.
he the only player in the world?
No, hang on a
I don't
second,
understand what you're saying,
guys. Let me land.
Bomaye. Like,
Let me just land here, and then you can come back, else. We need a person that is good on the ball. Okay, Ericsson is that guy, but unfortunately, it costs you defensively. I get that. I don't think Ericsson tonight, when he was on the ball, was particularly bad. I thought there was good aspects of his game, but off the ball, I get it. They're a very, very energetic, quick side. They keep the
no.
ball well.
But I don't think you get it because the trade off you're suggesting is not working. if the trade-off you're suggesting is it was good, it is not
It's not.
working.
But bro, look,
The,
if
the
you had
trade-off, the
Amra,
trade-off is a net
if
negative
you
for
have,
us.
look, bro, if you have Amrabat, for example, available, if Scott McTominay has looked good when he's come on, and I'm a Scott McTominay fan, maybe you could think let's shore it up a little bit, get some
How do
legs up
you
a little bit.
expect? How do
If
you
Mason
expect
Mount
Scott
is available,
McTominay? How do
it's
you
not.
expect anything
You
from
don't have
McTominay
them
when
available,
McTominay
bro.
has played 40 minutes in the last 7 games? He can't. No, nobody can get consistent playing time except from the same 11 players. How do you
Bro,
expect
look,
anybody else to pick up form?
I have spoken before. I don't think players in modern day football playing for big clubs have the luxury of 4 and 5 games to find their feet. You're part of a squad, you train every day, Sean. Sometimes when you're called upon, you have to come in and hit the ground running. Scott can do that usually. Listen, one sec. But Scott McTominay to me looks a little bit absent minded because of whatever is going on with his transfer
I
off
don't
the
blame
pitch.
Scott because the narrative around Scott and the narrative around several players is that nobody wants them here. What do you expect Scott to deliver when Scott is not
This
part of
is
the
what
team?
I would
He's not part
expect.
of the team. He's effectively a worst case scenario. When we have no other option, then we
No,
call
bro.
on you.
Look.
You need to have a squad, Bumaye. You need to have a squad of players that you rotate and you use you if a player goes out of form, you cannot play him back into form. Drop them, freshen up the squad, get everybody playing. I'm asking you, what is Rashford playing for other than personal pride? How do you
No,
hold
bro.
Rashford accountable? How
Me,
do you hold
Rashford,
Bruno accountable?
Listen,
How do you hold
Rashford
ladies
Casemiro
and
is
gentlemen.
accountable?
one of the Rashford to me is fundamental. Unless you had a firing Sancho, and unless you have an array of players ready to step in, you take Marcus Rashford out of Manchester United's attack, it becomes impotent. He is your bright spark. The problem is
You
we
mean less
have
impotent than
with
it is right now?
no, look, this is the reality. Last season without him, you don't have Champions League. It's that
That's the same
simple,
thing.
bro.
That's
Mumbai,
the same thing they said about
listen, Mumbai,
Ronaldo.
can you just hold it
You
1 second,
know,
Sean?
yeah.
I need to bring Tom in, but let me just
Yeah,
get
bring Tom in.
let me just get some of these super chats, okay? Big up to everybody. Irfan's fixed his laptop. At last, Irfan, say something.
Listen,
Give
this
us.
is my old one.
He's fixed it, he's fixed it.
This is my old one. This is my new one, bro. I've got a new one. I've only had it for like 8 months. A new MacBook
Old
Pro.
is gold, man. Old is gold.
Oh
Listen, let
man,
me
no
just get
way,
these
no
super
way.
chats. Let me get these super chats.
Go on.
Allow it, Nuruddin. He says here, allow it, Nuruddin. Casemiro is doing that since Madrid. Okay. Owinski says, at least we kept the ball today. It's baffling how unfit we look when going against proper team. No drive, no grit, no sheer effort, poor attitude. To me, I'm not seeing any positivity out of this.
As in, me too.
Mr.
I
Anwar,
don't see anything.
No, I'm looking for. I think when they come to us on that performance, I hope we can give them a similar type of game at our ground, but we get a bit of luck.
similar.
Yeah.
You mean getting schooled in the
We
second
were
half?
no. We were
You
in that
got
game.
schooled in the second half,
We were
Mumbai.
in that
What game
game,
were you
bro,
watching?
and we
Yes,
got
I'm
a
saying,
dog goal
what
against us.
game?
Two
What
dog
What
game were
goals
you
game were
against
we
us
watching?
and a
in?
penalty. No, bro,
We look like we didn't have a clue. As in, there was nothing
Second half, we
happening
got
for us.
schooled. We
no,
got
no, no. Look,
absolutely
I'm not
schooled.
even confident against Burnley this weekend.
Oh my
That's
God!
how
Don't
bad
even
I'm
tell me.
feeling.
Well rested Burnley. Big up Sibson. Listen, Bumbaye, I love that because football, everybody sees it differently. Big up
oh,
Bruno needs
you're
competition
wrong
at his
today,
position.
guys.
100%. But go ahead. Listen, Tom, let's bring Tom in. Tom, how did you see that game? Bumbaye and
Yeah, I'm going to take a back seat. Let's hear what we already know is coming from the U4 guys. Maybe Irfan can surprise us, but hit us with it, boys. Kick us while we're down.
no, go ahead, Tom, and then we'll go to Irfan.
What are we talking about, lads? I've only just got back. Apologies. Apologies. I'm
We
just...
want,
That's
Tom, we want
that's
your,
What
the
did you
right
we
think
want
of the
attitude to
game,
have.
Tom?
your,
Did you
we
watch
want
the
your
game, Tom? What
expertise.
did you think of the game?
The game.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I switched it over and watched Coronation Street. I don't know,
Woo!
lads. No, look. If I'm being fair, I think in the first half we were in the game in parts and times. I will be fair and honest. But you go away to the Allianz Arena, or you go away anywhere in Europe. If you don't take your chances, you're screwed. You're going to lose games. And even in saying that, Bayern Munich weren't. I don't think that they were the best. I've seen better Bayern Munich teams than what was out there against us tonight. And these are one of the, I would say, maybe 3 teams that I think could win the competition this year, aside from City and Real Madrid, just based on the actual squad and the manager that they have behind them. But I think, look, the Onana thing, listen, we knew when we bought this goalkeeper that was his weakness. He has got mistakes.
We didn't know
He has
that.
got his weakness.
Many fans
We
tried to tell us that
we didn't know. We
that
didn't know
it
this.
didn't
Come on.
matter, or like they were the same. People tried to gaslight us to tell us that it didn't matter, that they were both the same, that we'll be able to pass our way out of any shots that come against us.
Well, yeah. Well, if we look at it from that perspective, like Bayern didn't even enter the penalty box to close him down tonight. If that was David De Gea, I guarantee you they would have been going straight to the 18-yard box, enter it at whatever pace, whatever, and they put him under massive pressure. They didn't do that with Onana tonight because they knew that he could just chip a ball 20, 30 yards out.
They only scored 4 goals. Why do you need to pass into the box when you can score 4 easy goals?
Hold on. I'm saying about the overall game. When we talk about with David De Gea, we said his biggest frailty was that he couldn't pass the ball outside of his own box if it wasn't a player 5 yards away from him. We have a goalkeeper now that can get you out of tight situations if you need to. So yeah, we can say it for what it is. The defence has been absolutely shocking. Let's not beat around the bush. It's been absolutely shocking. The third goal, I don't know.
What about the protection for the defence? No protection.
Listen. Protection for the defence. We've got 2 midfielders, neither of which have legs in Eriksen or Casemiro. So when you have players like Kimmich and Musiala, you have got a 20-year-old kid running the show up against one of the people would say a legend in midfield in Casemiro, and Eriksen, who's an okay midfielder, Premier League proven, whatever. And at the end of the day, the work rate off of the ball from both of the players is shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And as soon as Amrabat or whoever's picked, they need to go into place. And I think as soon as Mason Mount comes back in place, that's Eriksen sorted. And I'm not being funny. If Amrabat's behind him, I think Casemiro should probably be worried for his place as well. Because for the ball, the tracking is not good for these players. But first half, I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything special.
Second.
Yeah. Go on.
Irfan, Arsenal are winning the Champions League.
He's off already.
He's coming for you.
He's off already.
You beat PSV, you have to qualify to get into the Champions League. And now you think you're going to win the Champions League. All right. Hold tight.
Anyway.
Go on, let Mo respond.
No. With the second half, anyway, look, it was an absolute disaster, if we're being completely honest. We had a decision for a VAR check, which had been checked, and then they rechecked it. I've never heard of that ever in any level of football. In Europe, that gets given. In the Premier League, it gets wiped away straight away. But you're in European football, and their rules are different to how the Premier League operate at this moment in time. So you don't know what's a handball and what's not anymore, to be honest. I thought you gave a lot of, you give an opportunity to Palestra. I don't necessarily think he burst the bloomer light, but he's learning. It's his first real major game that he's ever competitively played for Man United. And I don't think he was the worst player on the field. And I think, look, when you're going up against Bayern Munich, who have proper midfielders, as I call it nowadays, you ain't going to win a midfield battle against a team like Bayern Munich. We don't have the athleticism and we don't have the actual quality in midfield to beat a team like Bayern Munich. Kimmich, Goretzka, Musiala, what I would do for that kid to have chosen England over Germany. It's, criminal. But Man United, we don't find these sort of players that can come for our academy. City have it with Phil Foden, Musiala with Bayern Munich, Jude Bellingham had it with Dortmund, and now Real Madrid. We don't have these sort of players that come for our academy. We've got Scott McTominay. That's what we have.
We don't need to have world-class academy players. You just need to have players who can do the job, bare minimum, and a manager who is willing to play them.
Sean, I guarantee you now, bare minimum does not win against Bayern Munich tonight. You need to be 100%. Every single player for 90 minutes. We don't do that in any game.
I disagree with you that bare minimum doesn't win.
The last game, we played a full 90 minutes, and everybody in here will probably agree with me, maybe apart from you, was Spurs at home 2-0 last season. That's the only time I can say competitively for 90 minutes we absolutely played a team at full capacity. Since then, it's been we either play brilliant in the first half, we either play brilliant in the second half, or shy in the other. We don't consistently play for 90 minutes. So overall, as I say for the whole review, it was shocking in the second half. It was an absolute disaster class. And at the end of the day, We can say it for what it is. The players need to be criticised because that second half, we saw this again, passive pressing. There wasn't full possession, full going football. We saw in the first half they were actually being tight to players. It was almost as if we're being man to man in pressing. Second half, we just dropped off, and it's as if we didn't want to play. It was almost as if 2-0 against Munich. All right, we'll just give up, pack us bags and go home, and we'll play Burnley at the weekend. That is not the motto that Manchester United was brought up and founded on.
Look,
We should
one
go,
of the
I don't care if you're 3-0 down, 4-0 down, or even 7-0 down at Liverpool. You play till 90 minutes. If you don't want to play until 90 minutes, go and do what Sancho did and play FIFA. End of.
one of
But
the
you know what?
one
The
of the things
manager
that
keeps
teach us.
coming out. The manager keeps coming out, Tom, and talking. Oh yeah, we played. I don't. Football is over 90 minutes now.
Listen.
It's
Ten
absolutely
Hag's got
shocking.
No.
We didn't
I'll
score.
say it for what it is.
What does that mean? Just
I'll say
because
it
we
for what
don't
it is
score the
with Ten
first
Hag.
goal, somebody please tell Eric Ten Hag. Just because we didn't score the first goal, that
Ah,
don't
but you
mean that we
know,
deserve to win the game. What is he on about?
We don't.
Every
This
fucking
is the
press
thing.
conference now, he's
Nuruddin,
coming out chatting shit.
Nuruddin, I'll say. Listen, I'll just summarise in the whole thing. This whole thing about style of play, and I know I haven't been on the last couple of streams when we've been talking about fixtures and results. He has had now. Let me just phrase this. He's had 2 pre-seasons with these players. Most of them he's been with for the full season of last season. He had all of this pre-season, and he's had the first 6 games. We normally say about any player that we judge, give them 5 or 6 games. The same revolves around a manager. We've lost 4 and won 2. And in all 6 of those games, can we really say that we've been competitive?
But Maya, can you
Really?
mute yourself real quick?
Majorly competitive?
No,
I don't think so.
Listen,
And that's 6 games already. And I tell you now, go to Turf Moor, and if we get dumped out the Carabao Cup with Palace, mate, wow. Eric Ten Hag, like this thing that we've been
the
saying.
trajectory. That's the trajectory that we're
the final
on.
point I'm going to make, guys. Where's this transitional football? Can somebody please identify it? I don't know if I need somebody's glasses or what. He set out a clear style in pre-season when he said we want to play transitional football. Transitional football, where is it? I'm not seeing players be able to pass the ball 5-6 yards to each other. You have a goalkeeper who passes better than all of our midfield. That just summarises the whole thing.
Our problems are so deep, Tom.
Yeah, it's so
we can't
deep.
Pass. We're 11th. Listen, we're 11th in the Premier
But yeah,
League.
to answer Harrison's question here, everybody's accountable. I wouldn't just say the manager. The players have to take some responsibility for this as well. At the end of the day, players and manager. But like I say, if we don't see this style of play being implemented, like he's had, as I say, 2 seasons. He's had a full season and 2 pre-seasons. He spent £400 million in the market, brought in as we call it his players, and he still can't play a style of football.
I want to be the first to say here that I don't give a damn about style of play. I couldn't care less.
Oh, Sean,
all the teams play the same style of play.
Sean, let's go get Ollie back then. Let's go get Ollie back.
It's all the same. Let's not deceive ourselves here. It's all the same thing. It's pressing that everybody's trying to play now. That's a new thing in fashion. Inverted fullbacks or whatever. Just win a damn football game. Pass the ball to your teammate instead of to your opposition. Track the runner. Don't leave any spaces in the middle of the pitch. Keep it freaking simple. But yet we have a manager. This is my problem with him. This is my problem with Ten Hag, I think, so far. He seems like a PhD manager. Like, too smart, too knowledgeable, too professorial with his stuff. Keep it fucking simple. You guys are talking about Eriksen and who do we play instead? For me, as a United fan, the pride of a United fan for me was being able to go to the Allianz Arena or Bernabeu or San Siro, anywhere with Anderson, Darren Gibson in midfield, Welbeck up front, and not giving a damn who they had in their team because we're Man United. And when you wear the badge, you give your all for the team. So don't tell me that we can't play Dan Gore or that we can't play Hannibal or that Eriksen has to play. Because what is Ten Hag thinking? If we all see that Eriksen is bad, we saw it against Arsenal. We saw it against City in the final. We saw it against Brighton. Every single big game we've played, that midfield has cost us. And the manager is still playing the same midfield again and again. Is that not madness?
Listen, you know what that Einstein quote, innit? Insanity. Repeating
doing the same thing again and expecting a different result.
It's not going to happen. Eriksen is not a fucking number 8. I'm going to mute myself. Irfan, people want to hear from you.
Well, you said it, Nuruddin. We absolutely got schooled in the second half, like really schooled. They were in cruise control, but They were like, to me, they were just costing. It was like a practice game for them in the second half. To me, the score flatters us. To tell you the truth, the score really flatters us. I mean, look,
does.
you know, Tom was pretty much spot on as well. I mean, look, you know, we started okay. You know, we did start okay, but we're a fragile team. All it takes is one tiny little thing, and the crack, bang. You know, it could happen. And when you look, you know, we've watched football for 30, 40 years. You know, when you're down on your luck, things don't go your way, right? And it takes a lot of deep kind of soul searching within players individually and the manager to get out of this trough we're in. Now, look, I keep saying this, and I missed the Brighton game. I watched it, and I said it. We're getting battered in midfield. We're not even a little bit competing in midfield. We're absolutely getting battered. You look at our midfield, and everyone's going, "Look, that's not a midfield." Everyone can see that that's not a midfield. It hasn't got the legs to compete in a modern game, and it hasn't got the formation's never right because you're getting school because. Casemiro's trying to get forward, but he's the guy that protects the defense. He plays just in front of the defense, and he actually got into good positions today. But I felt sorry for him because he needs serious legs around him, like serious legs. You can't do it. Now, you can be skilled ball players like Goretzka or Kimmich. You can be those kind of guys where the ball's almost like glued to the foot, and they have a system where they play around. But we are miles off that. We are a deeply, deeply broken team. And to be honest with you, you're right. It is on Ten Hag because it is madness. Why doesn't he just pack the midfield just for one half so we don't concede, so we look like we can defend again? Because now, what saved us last year was the defense. Defense is shocking. Okay, Musiala's a great run. He's a brilliant player. The way he can just glide past people and open you up, right? But why was it two guys on the back post when some of them should be marching Gnabry? Some of them should be on him, bang. So that was a very, very poor goal to give away. And then when you can't concentrate, when you do get a goal and you concede another, I mean, look, this is when the luck goes.
Can I just come in there 1 second? In the last 4 games, we have conceded exactly the same type of goal. At Manchester United's box, you're going to get 10, 15 yards of space to be able to shoot. We conceded it against Odegaard. We conceded it again, 3 of them against Brighton. We conceded another one tonight. We are conceding goals like that.
No, because Nuruddin, the defense is what saved us last year. The defense is collapsed this year. It's not there. They have lost all confidence. They've lost that. When you're on good form, you can smell blood. You can smell danger. You can smell. You're there. You instinctively get in and block. Someone's there. At the moment, when you're weak and frail mentally, you don't see those things. You're scared, and your confidence.
That mental fragility. I also blame the manager because the manager took the system. He took what we had last season and changed it.
No, but
he changed it.
Yeah, but to be honest, look. I'm going to say, I said it many times before. This is the most difficult job in world football at the moment. Everybody knows it's the most difficult job. It is the most difficult job in world football. I don't care what anyone tells you. It is with those crazy maniac, vultures who run the club and the jokers who employ them. So look, Ten Hag is stubborn, right? Ten Hag is very stubborn. But Ten Hag has now got to the stage where the honeymoon is over. And you can tell that there's shit going on inside the club. You can tell the players are fighting. They can tell there's so much going on behind the scenes. You can tell because there's no fluidity. Now, people keep talking about Palestri. So Palestri runs, but Palestri doesn't have any output. He doesn't have the brain yet. He doesn't have it. Rashford doesn't have it either.
I disagree, Irfan. Palestri is the only person who is actually interested in beating the man and getting to the byline.
No, listen, Garnacho
He's the only one actually getting to the byline and crossing.
Look, Reguilon got the ball in dangerous positions every time. He's our best player last 2 games. I have to say, he's our best player.
I'd agree.
Right? And so look, those little things dinks right across the back on the goalkeeper line. Where was the guy to smell blood? No Palestri, no Højlund, no one. Like I said,
Irfan, that was his first game. You're blaming the first game he started for Manchester United.
He was covering.
I'm not questioning individuals.
You of all the different players on that football pitch to blame, you're going for Palestri.
No, I'm not. I didn't blame him. No. I'm not blaming him. I'm saying, look, I haven't seen an output from this guy. I've seen more from Garnacho yet, but again,
when did he play? When does he
He doesn't
play?
play.
You
No,
see
no,
him for 5 minutes here and there.
But I'm not. Look, I'm not individualizing this. I am not.
But you're making it out like he plays every week. He doesn't
No,
play
he
every
doesn't.
week.
No, but
You see him
I'm
for
saying
5
no.
minutes here,
Wait a
10
second.
minutes
let me
there.
see. I am saying to you, I haven't seen an end result from this guy. I've seen a lot of passion and power and running, but I haven't seen an end result from this kid. But I don't mind him playing. I've got no issue with him being picked. I'm being straight, but I'm saying to you, the problem we have, right, is that we're a beaten team, but we get smashed in midfield every week. Every week we get battered. So, you know, in a way, I give
Continue the sentence.
I give them all a
Continue the
card.
sentence, Irfan. Continue the sentence. Continue your sentence. We get smashed every week because of a bad midfield, because the manager insists on
the manager keeps getting it wrong. He keeps saying the same thing. Now, look, like I'm saying to you, if we're relying on Palestri and people like that, we're not going to go anywhere. Now, I like the kid. I'm not blaming him, but I'm saying we're not there yet. We're miles away.
I can't believe. So Rashford up front. We've had all of the different combinations of shiteness up front since from last season. But you're gonna blame the kid that started his first.
No, I'm not blaming
in a big
him.
competitive game.
I think
Let
Erfan's point is that like we're miles away. But Erfan, I disagree. We're not 11th on the table, miles away. I disagree with that. We're miles away from Man City.
Let me
we're
just
not
get
11th on the table quality.
And I'll go back to Erfan. Let me just get a super chat. A big Aduale says Bruno is bad. Musiala showed United fans what a real number 10 looks like. Yes, Casemiro should be captain of this team. Ten Hag got to play Amrabat and Mount. Saying that.
No, listen.
Let me just get this other super chat. 1 second, Erfan. We'll come back to you. Why did United never go for Trossard and Jesus? Their goals today were stunning. Jesus better than Mbappe. Jesus better than Mbappe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, he's on his high. Let him have his high. He's on his high.
Big up, say Biassi.
No, can I just say, I'm not dissing Palestri, right? You know, I'm just saying I haven't seen an end result in this guy. That's all. You know that calmness when you're up top, when you run there and you think, okay, I've got the pass on, I'll come back, right? I'm saying, you know, like I said, no, it's not on him.
I thought
Garnacho's not developed, Nuruddin. I know what you say about Rashford, right? But at the end of the day, Nuruddin, all I'm saying to the manager is please keep us in the game. Keep us in the game. Do something in the midfield. Even if you have to pack it, keep us in the game, especially away from home. Keep us in the game. But he can't do it. He can't do it. He keeps playing Eriksen. You know, Casemiro had one of his better games. It wasn't his worst game, but, you know, at the end of the day, but he has to change. And this is my worry with this guy, because it's English football. It's brutal. It doesn't give you a chance. It'll eat you alive and spit you out. And this is the thing. He is sinking at the moment, and the players are sinking with him, where he needs to stand firm and go, I can't keep doing the same shit over and over again. He can't. I said to you, Nuruddin, you know, I said this before about the team. The thing is, we needed many more players than we've got. But again, we need to get Amrabat fit. We need to get Mainu fit, right? And then we can kick up one of those. Bruno, I'm sick of Bruno just being headless around the pitch. I'm sick of it. I actually like him when he comes deep, but this guy has zero discipline. He has zero discipline. He's this crazy kind of guy, and he's our captain. So how do you expect the team to get it together when your captain does not show any kind of what I call stability and calmness, and to stay in one position to calm the team? When your captain's erratic, what do you expect from your team? When your manager seems erratic, what do you expect from your team? So I'm giving these Rashford and people, normally I would rip them apart. I'm not saying anything to them today, because it's on Ten Hag with that midfield. He cannot keep playing that midfield. We're going to get beat and beat and beat. So look, the bottom line is, I don't know whether this guy's going to change it or not. I don't know. It's going to change. When we were playing Kobe in, I thought this could work, this guy. But bad luck, you know, a little bit of bad luck, a little bit of actually quite a lot of poor stubbornness by team selection. And then you can see that there's bullshit within the players, right? And then to top that off, you got the bullshit with the sporting managers and the bullshit loans, and the fact we got no money, and we got the vultures. So all these are combining at the moment, all the same time, to bring us down, to break us at the moment. That's why normally, manager, you can get past this shit, but we don't have a manager that can override. So now the poison rot from the top that seeps all the way down to the team.
Irfan,
That's just
what makes me the most concerned is that the 6 points we have this season were flukes
They were
against
fluke.
Wolves and against
I
Nottingham.
said this.
We could easily have had 0 points.
Yeah.
0.
We don't deserve those
it's a
points
massive
against
red
Wolves.
flag
We
to
should have
me.
got those 3 points against Wolves. It was a joke. That was a joke. That I said that. We did the first one, Wolves, and I told you I was so worried after watching that Wolves match. How they just bossed us, ripped us apart at home, and we won 1-0.
That's something like whatever it is that the manager is trying to do, it's not working. It's not working. And if the players you're selecting are not doing what you want them to do, then change those freaking players. I don't care if you have to play Dan Gore. I don't care if you have to play Hannibal. Change the people that are playing. Keep them honest. Keep your players honest. You have to have a team of honest players. Nobody works harder at Man City
Sean,
than
he
Bernardo
talks about
Silva.
standards. Sean, he talks about standards. Standards not about
But he doesn't.
about
But he doesn't
discipline.
meet them. He doesn't hold up the standards.
Right? He talks about standards not about discipline. Standards is about looking at the players you play, seeing the guys make cost you liability. Ericsson has become a liability. Manchester United are 11th in the Premier League for holding the ball, holding possession. We're not good enough to hold possession and dominate games. That's why you need Ericsson in the team. Ericsson is defensively is the biggest liability when you got Casemiro, who looks like he's aged and is 75 years old with a bloody Zimmer frame.
But he needs.
We need to change. He needs to change Ericsson. And I'm telling you, tonight I would have played Dango or Hannibal. That's who I would have played.
Hannibal should have been in the chance. Yeah.
Both of them technically better. By the way, there's 400 of you. And if you're not liking the video or you're not subscribing, then shame on you as well.
Trust me, guys. Everything that we're
I'll
saying.
say it more politely, guys.
Everything that we're saying.
And like the video, please.
The players also know it. And this is my fear with Ten Hag, that the moment you start having favorites, the moment it starts becoming obvious that you have favorites in the team, you lose the dressing room. I suspect that is part of Sancho's problem, even though Sancho handled it poorly. I think Ten Hag handled it poorly as well, because it's obvious to me and to a lot of fans that Ten Hag is selecting based on favorites and not selecting what is best in the team. I don't know what he has in his head, or what he thinks is going to happen, or what he thought was going to happen, or what he expects to happen, but it's not happening, and he needs to do something different about it. I am terrified now, and I'm saying my expectations for this season are top half table finish. Just give me a top half of the table finish, and I'm fine. We go again next year. Like I've been saying, can we restart the season? Can we start again? Can we stop? It's only 5 games. Can we just remove the memory card, and reset, or hard reset, unplug the computer, and so we can go again. But this season is almost done for me, basically. And it's because of the manager. Only thing I would say is I'm not Ten Hag out.
The season just started. What do you mean season's already done?
Let's start again now. Let's remove the CD, like hard reset. Just take it out. Remove the memory card and start again.
Let me just get this. Andre Unan after the game tonight, he says, to be honest, I have to look back at what happened. Mistakes are part of life. I'm happy with the team. We worked hard today. I have to assume responsibility. We lost because of me. It's time to accept it. We are big men.
I like that from him. Honestly, personally, I like that from him. But this Onana stuff, I had my reservations about it, and I don't like what I'm seeing either. I don't like what I'm seeing from Onana. I don't like the fact that basically every shot on target seems like a goal now. Essentially,
Sean, he made 3 or 4
we've
good
conceded. Guess how many goals we've conceded this season, guys? If I'm not mistaken, 14 or 15 goals we've conceded. Let me just get this quote from Eric Tanner. Eric Tanner says, "What you have seen on the very high level was against Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and Brighton, all top-level teams. And we're going head to head. But they win. Yeah, the way they win, we have to make our luck. And that has to do with the determination. Otherwise, we don't get it, the results."
Dude, he's chatting shit, man.
But you keep playing fucking Ericsson, Mr. fucking Ten Hag. You keep playing Ericsson, who's the guy who's actually got a fucking pacemaker. I can't blame him. The guy's got a pacemaker. He's playing with a pacemaker.
But no, he can play 15, 20 minutes a game, but that's it. 25
That's
minutes.
what I'm saying. So why are you starting him every game? Why? Why is he starting him every game?
Because he hasn't got anybody else he feels he can do the job. Who else can he do the job?
I can't even come to Bruno because I got to deal with Ericsson. And Bruno, somebody needs to tell Bruno. Somebody needs to tell fucking Bruno. Somebody needs to tell Bruno. Just because you got the captain's armband, that means you can't go and do everybody else's job. The lack of discipline and positioning from him is absolutely shocking.
Absolutely insane. Yeah.
It's absolutely shocking. You see him tonight, especially in the second half. Yeah. At times he thinks he's playing as a third centre half.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Nordin, he's
we need you up the pitch.
He's out of control.
Helfan, I need him up the pitch. Stay next to near the striker, near the forwards, so if he get the ball to you, you play that decisive pass. I don't need you to be back there. What is he doing? Just because you're captain, that don't mean that you need to be everywhere on the football pitch. Go ahead, Bumbaye.
What would you like? I mean, look, I'm sorry, boys. We did watch a different game, and I respect your opinion, and I understand your frustration. And what I saw personally is a really good game where we were in the game. I think that the first goal is something that you have to accept. I think that changes the game. We start with a really good shape. We're getting at them as well. We had our chances. Ericsson should score that really. We caused them some problems. I thought we defended well. But that goal kills us. And once that goal goes in, then they get the second one, which is a travesty to me. And it starts with Delo's bad defending. But all the while, we didn't lay down. Came out. We camped them in their half for a couple of minutes. We get Højlund's goal. I'm thinking, we're back at it. This is going to be an open game now. We've got nothing to lose. It's not a league game. It's a Champions League game. Then they get the penalty. That killed us. I thought the effort we put in, man, for the whole first half, for me personally, take the goals aside, was a big effort. And I knew at about 65, 70 minutes, I thought, the game now is going to be, they're going to keep the ball away from us. And that's probably going to be it. Maybe they might score another one if we commit too much forward. That was the narrative of the game for me. But I really liked a lot of performances in that Man United team, and I really like what we offered. I swear to God, I'm not just saying this. I don't care if the whole 500 people in the chat laugh. I am looking forward to playing that type of game against them at Old Trafford, but with our fully fit squad. They're, to me, they're not the Bayern that they were. That's one of the 5 best teams in the world, though.
They don't need to be against us.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
You
guys, hang on. Guys, you three
look like prime Real Madrid against us this weekend.
You three can't make it, and you don't need to make it any clearer. Do you know what I mean? I'd say many fans agree with you guys, but that's not what I saw. I saw a lot of positives today. And we were in that game for large parts of it, but we just did not get any rub of the green. It's never a penalty.
I think we could lose.
At 2-1, for me, I'm thinking, you know what? Fuck this, man. We're back in this game. But those moments that deflate you when you've put in such an effort, I thought the boys, all of them, whether they got caught out of position. Rashford today, man, ran for days. Do you know what I mean? And what I'm saying, Sean, one sec. And what I'm saying, bro, at a certain point, I understand that the team is not going to be able to sustain that. And when they get the third goal, it's like, shit, man. Now we can't press like we were before to make that get up the pitch. I get that. Højlund was dead. I loved Højlund's performance today. He made the right runs. He did the graveyard shift at 20 years old at Man United. I have to respect that. Rashford, bro, today had the beating of their guy. I thought Reguilon and Rashford were really good today. Really like that.
Reguilon was really good.
Do you know what I mean?
It depends.
And I liked Martinez today. I liked aspects of his performance, but other aspects we need to just shore it up for me at the back. But today, guys, it's a false reading for me. I swear to God. I
think it's the other way around. What you're saying is as if somebody says, "Oh, why are you wet?" And the answer is it's raining. No shit. Like we could lose all 38 games this season, and then there'll be one
No, we
reason or
won't.
the
We
other,
won't. We won't. We
one
won't do
moment or
that,
the
bro.
other
Look,
in the game that would have cost
yeah,
us the victory. That is football. As in, who cares if there was 1 minute here where we could have won, and if minutes
uh,
had turned the other way, we
look,
would have
look,
won.
bro. I
That is
care
football.
because no, look, football. Sometimes you don't get what you deserve, and sometimes decisions. This is fine margins at this level. If that penalty is not given at 2-1, we're bang at it, man. We're well in that game. We had a really good first
We
half,
could have
and
we
and
could have
and
Wait,
I
wait,
lost
wait.
and I and
five.
honestly,
We could have lost five out of five
One
games,
at
Wait,
a
and
wait.
it's
time.
not
One
bad
at a
luck.
time.
Wait,
One at a
can I stop
time.
you, please? Just can I
One at
stop
a
you
time.
1 second? You
and
said
bro, look,
if that goal doesn't go in, we're well in the game. That's what he
yeah, I
said. Did you
think,
hear that,
yeah,
guys?
I think
He
so.
said
I
if
think
that
so.
goal doesn't go in,
Really, as in, can you imagine? Like,
That
as in,
that the penalty, the
what are we
penalty.
saying?
yeah, if that penalty doesn't go in, if that wasn't we're in the game, bro. We weren't even close to being in the game in the whole game. And I even
No, we were,
even though I was
bro.
at your
We
positive,
were.
we were
No,
not
you're wrong.
close to being. Come on, please,
No, no,
please.
honestly,
I'll
you're wrong.
accept
This,
I'll
yeah,
accept your
look,
positive
I
outlook.
think I'll tell you the truth, boys. I already know what I'm gonna get with you guys when I come on here. I don't think you're watching the game with your eyes. It's a lot of
No, no,
emotion.
that's
It's a lot of
not
knee
fair.
jerk,
That's
and
not
you
fair,
and
Maya.
and and to
That's
be
not
honest with
fair.
you guys keep coming with the same old things like Rashford and Ericsson. Look,
Okay.
That's not fair. That's not fair, Maya.
Ericsson to me has to play.
Nuruddin,
Oh my
He has to
god.
Nuruddin,
play unless
Nuruddin,
you've got
look,
unless you've got
someone in the
unless
comments said he's
listen
our
unless
tie. Yeah,
un,
Bumba
listen.
is our tie of AFTV. He's our
Come on,
tie.
boys, let's
Insane.
talk. Come on, stop interrupting. If you've got Amrabat or Mason Mount fit, then you can talk. But you need somebody to give you an element of ball retention. Otherwise, you're going to be knackered.
But it's
No, no,
That's
not
what
but
Ericsson's
are
there
you
for.
saying
That's that's why he plays
our
because it's
options are Amrabat and Mount Fit or this rubbish we're seeing? We could easily have lost
No,
all
what?
five games.
No, no,
It's
no,
not
no, no.
bad
Hang
luck.
on, hang on,
It's not
Sean,
bad luck that's causing
Sean,
this.
Sean. What? It's not bad luck. You're saying it's bad luck.
No, no,
Everything you're saying,
you're
I'm not
saying it's bad
saying.
luck.
No, I'm not saying it's bad luck. I didn't say the word bad luck. The problem is here is Christian Eriksen, who comes in to replace him. If you have Amrabat fit and we can find out what he offers this team, then okay, I can say maybe we could have gone with him.
But my
If we if we
put a
have
stick there.
if we have
Put an empty chair instead of
if
Ericsson.
if you
Put
have a
put
Mason
a
Mount,
table,
you
a
look.
laptop, anything.
Let me explain to you guys something. Look, this is the bench of Manchester United today against Bayern Munich at their ground. Look, you've got the keeper, the Turkish guy, Bayındır, Tom Heaton, Vitek, Evans, Gore, Hannibal, McTominay, Forson, Garnacho, and Martial. Guys, look, you're coming to play against a serious team, man. We expected to get destroyed today, embarrassed. For me, I'm looking forward to bringing them to our ground, and there's a lot of positives I take from this game.
I'm not even
And
looking
I'm
forward to
looking for,
Burnley.
no, I'm looking forward to them. I'm confident that we can give them a proper game with home advantage, based on that performance. For me,
You
key
mean
moments
like
when
the game we gave
against us,
Brighton at
bro.
home?
Look, it's not about piss taking. This is proper. I'm telling you what I
I'm
seen
not the one taking
today.
the piss. Rashford is taking the piss. Eric Ten Hag is taking the
No,
piss.
no, no, bro.
I'm
Look,
not the one taking the piss here.
Marcus Rashford. If it came down to it, everybody starts Marcus Rashford. He's fundamental to Man United. What he gives us, nobody else gives us.
In
No,
in a,
no,
in a hypothetical
nobody likes to play against a player like that, man. Nobody.
in a hypothetical game, yes, everybody starts Marcus Rashford. But a smarter manager, I would argue, would manage his players better. Know
No,
when
I
to
have
bring somebody out because
to
of bad form.
look. I'll tell you the
Know when
truth.
to manage the team.
This evening, Eric Ten Hag is blameless. No, he has
To be
no
fair,
blame
there's
on him.
nobody on the bench. Listen, there's nobody on the
There's
bench
no
in
blame
terms
for
of
him
like
today. No
at the end
blame.
of the day, at the
Right,
end of the day, I just
Nuruddin, wait a second. All right,
can I
so
just
we're
come in
enough of
one
this
second?
positivity.
Can I
Right,
just come
Nuruddin,
in
can I
one
go back to
second?
you, please? Can I go back to you? I got a question for you, okay? Would you have started Donny van de Beek in this game?
Donny van de
Or
Beek is not in the
would you
picture
play
for
Donny van
me.
de Beek in this game?
No,
Would
he's
you have
not in the
played him?
picture for me. He's not in the
I'm
picture
asking
for me.
Nuruddin, please.
Go ahead.
Oh, instead of Ericsson, 100%. I would have started you instead of Ericsson.
Really?
Yeah, I would have started you instead of Ericsson.
It's a bit
Big
hard.
up Windy. Listen, question from Windy. Windy says,
I'll
does the
answer this
panel
question.
think the team fought till the end, or do they think players gave up after the first goal?
No,
I think
I'll
heads
answer this
dropped the game.
question. I'll answer this question. It's simple. If you're watching the actual game, the effort and the pressing and the levels that we started with, especially throughout the first half, even after the goal went in, that was a monumental effort. And at a certain point, you're gonna gas. You're gonna gas because you do have players that are gonna have a knock-on effect on other players. And we gassed at about 60. It started to slow down. That third goal effectively kills the game. It just becomes a exercise now. But we got a little bit more entertainment value than we expected with our goal,
Somebody in the
with our
chat,
second goal and their next goal. So it's inevitable that you're gonna get tired, man. That's a team that keeps the ball very well, and they turn up the
somebody,
screw with the pace. It's hard, man. The way the
somebody.
game went was not in our favor, Dino. That's all that happened today. I promise
No,
you.
no, it's not about that. You make the game the
No,
game
no,
go
no.
for you.
No,
You make the
bro.
game go for you. You make
The
the
key.
game for you.
No, bro.
Listen, I'm sorry to say it. Let me answer the question, Windy. The heads dropped. Same thing. Heads always drop when we concede the first goal, and then the game goes into frenzy, and then we get dominated from then onwards.
But we got
Right?
back into
We
the
made
game,
a couple
bro.
of chances in the first 27 minutes. We did that before they scored that goal. After that, good night Vienna. They got the second. Good night Vienna.
No,
The
we got to
second was
2-1, bro.
sublime goal. Sublime goal. Musiala turns, sends him back to flipping Copacabana Beach. Sends Casemiro to Copacabana
Nah,
on
you're
the
looking
beach,
at it all wrong, you
and
guys.
then takes
So,
apart
Was it
Diego
Dallo,
Dalot.
Nuruddin? Was it Dallo or Casemiro? He sent.
it
No,
was
it's Casemiro. He
Dallo.
turns first. See it. See the spin what he does to
Yeah.
He drops his shoulder.
Yeah, and then he gets to Dallo. Yeah,
then-
yeah.
That's a brilliant turn. Then runs at Diego Dalot. Then Diego Dalot's not strong enough. He's weak.
Yeah.
That kid's not strong enough, but he's weak mentally. And then we give the guy 10 yards of space. Oh, the same area we conceded the goal against Odegaard, against Brighton, we concede again tonight. And I'm sorry, if you think Eriksen's got to play Bombay, we've got another thing coming. So I'm going to go to you, Sean. Or I'm going to go to you, Irfan. Do you think that the team fought back till the end, or do you think players gave up after the first goal?
I don't think they fought back. I don't see that crazy drive to get back in the game. I just see a team that's fragile. When you're fragile, you can't give all. You cannot fight back because you're hurt inside, and you don't have the calmness and wherewithal to go right. I'm gonna. You see some top teams who go behind and they kick it. They manage to get together. The special teams, we're not close to that. We're hoping for a prayer to hang in the game. When we go behind, we're hoping to hang in the game. We're just like, shit, let's hope we get a bit of luck. You can see it. That's what I mean. This is where the leader in the team comes in. We don't have a leader. We have a guy who just runs around headless all the time. Like you said, trying to do everything for the pitch. The thing is, I watched the coaching staff. I watched the manager, and I just cannot believe, where is the discipline already? Tell me, where's the discipline in this team? Where is it? Why doesn't he discipline Bruno and say, what the fuck are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Because he does it more and more, and he's becoming even more erratic as a captain, this guy. So look, we like I said, we're not smart enough to be involved in the game for the whole 90 minutes. We're just not, because we're just not playing as a team. We're beaten up in so many areas of the pitch and the game, behind the scenes, on the pitch, psychologically. We look like a beaten up team at the moment. We really do. We're so fragile, Nuruddin. So fragile. And like I said, and I'm listening to all the fans. I'm reading the comments of what all the people are here writing, and most of them can see that we're shit at the moment. We're totally lost as a team. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going to change. But I keep saying, Nuruddin, I don't know why I sound like Mourinho, but I want us to at least pack the midfield, make the midfield strong at least, so we're not, even if we're not attacking, because we can't really attack very well. Let's just make us solid from defense and midfield. Just make it solid, make us hard to play against, and then build again. Get confidence back by not conceding. Let's start again.
Like, I have no problem with I have no problem with Ten Hag trying things, even if he doesn't want to pack the midfield. Play a 4-4-2 diamond, play inverted fullbacks, inverted strikers, play anything you want. Just make it a meritocracy. Just don't have favorites. Just keep the players honest. That is what I think is the fundamental problem with the team now. The lack of confidence, the lack of fight, the lack of everything comes because these guys are freaking cowards, and there's nothing at players. There's nothing at stake for any of them. No matter what happens, the fans are always going to blame, either the Glazers or the regular scapegoats like Maguire and McTominay. Nobody's going to point at the actual culprits. These guys should be ashamed to wear the United badge. That is my opinion. All of them, from start to finish, they should all be ashamed to wear the United badge. There are a lot of players that were hyping up, and when you're talking about Rashford, personally, I don't think Rashford is world class. This isn't the time to have that discussion or that debate.
Yeah, but
But
Sean, you know
personally,
why though? You know why you say he's not world class? Why is he not world class? Tell me why.
because he's not good enough.
He's not got the football brain to be world class. He hasn't got it.
Yes, so I think where I'm getting to is that, in my personal opinion, Rashford is not good enough to be a guaranteed starter at United. He hasn't achieved anything, and I keep trying to say that. The people who were guaranteed starters for us, the club I remember and I knew and I loved, was a club where the manager was not afraid to bring on youth, to bring on Gibson, to bring on any fucking person, because when you wear the badge, you give your all. I don't care what kind of skills you have or what kind of abilities you have or whatever. Give your all. At least play honestly. These people are stealing a fucking liver.
United need 34 points for safety, boys.
No, but it's true now. We're 5 games into a season where everybody has admitted that we could easily have 0 points. We have 6 points by luck. We could easily have had 0 points in the season. I'm not confident against Burnley. I expect Burnley to show up looking like Prime Real Madrid this weekend. I expect them to come and to boss us in all areas of the pitch this weekend.
I think,
Yeah,
look,
because Sean, everybody knows we're shit, we're weak, and we're there for the taking. Everyone knows
Okay,
that.
listen.
Every team knows that.
Listen. Mumbai has said what he said. He watched a totally different game, and I respect his opinion. To me, I respect everybody's opinion.
and I respect your opinion, guys. I really do. And most of the fans are gonna side with you, but I'm looking at things a little bit
Wait a second, Bombay.
different way.
Can we just talk about it just for 2 minutes, right? I'm reading all the comments of
Yeah,
everybody here. I'm reading them all,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And I listen. We know you personally. You know, me and Nuruddin, we know you well. We know what you like, and you're a bit more positive than us. You know, sometimes I think you you could be a bit deluded. But that's a bit harsh to say that. But it seems that way. But you have got a positive spin. You just got look on a positive. No, I'm not gonna blame you for being positive. But I'm looking at all the comments, and bro, everyone seems to be. I mean, are we a channel of are we attracted people that think like us? Because I don't see anybody in writing.
But usually, I disagree with Nuruddin a lot on many things. I disagree with you as well, Irfan. That's why I was saying Obama said about us being negative. I don't think it's fair.
No.
Not everyone who comes here.
Look,
I'm the one with a positive spin on things, trying to push. But everything I'm seeing now, like it's driving me fucking crazy, and it's as if it's making me feel as if I'm losing my mind. Everything I've been seeing from this team so far this season. I came into this season of hope.
Oh shit, we lost.
Listen, let's say that. Let's go on the positives. My positive tonight, Reguilon, who I absolutely laughed at when we signed him.
Yeah, you did, Nuruddin. I was saying he was a good player. I told you he was a good player, Nuruddin. Come on.
He's trying to get a contract. He's trying to get out of Spurs. That's what.
Who cares? Who cares? He's still playing well, though. Wait.
Listen,
did you see Shaw do what he does, Nuruddin? Have you seen Shaw do what he does?
No. But defensively, Irfan, he's shocking as
well.
Yeah,
he's weak. He's weak defensively. I agree.
Defensively, he's weak.
Yeah, he's weak.
Going forward, though, he's been decent. I thought Pellistri played well tonight.
He did.
Personally,
yeah.
I thought Pellistri did for the first time ever starting a game.
Yeah.
Big game like this. I thought he did well. I'm so happy for Højlund to score his first goal for Manchester United.
That's my biggest positive, Nuruddin. That's my biggest.
That's the big positive. I thought, like Bumbaye said, and this is where I agree with Bumbaye, he did the graveyard shift. That's a 20-year-old. That's very difficult. Very difficult to do the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, guys, I just feel the pain. Manchester United keep getting smashed. In history books, it will look like 4-3. That was a close game. Let me finish. The second half, we got absolutely schooled. We got taken to footballing school. They kept the ball and bossed us about, and they could have gone into third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear, anytime they wanted. I'm sorry to say, but if Erik ten Hag is going to persist with Eriksen as that number 8, when Manchester United are not a team that dominates possession, then he is going to get himself the sack. Mark my words.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
Bruno has to be disciplined. Somebody has to tell him, Bruno, I don't need you to go fucking to be a third centre half. I need you to stay close to the forwards. So when we get the ball to you, you can do the decisive pass to put one of them through. I need you to be disciplined. He's not disciplined. He's shambolic. He's shocking. And for all those people that were sending me photos of Martial's back, give over. You are absolutely embarrassing, some of you. Martial's not over. He's gone out here.
Question for you.
Thought his
wait,
cameo was good tonight. You know, Martial, when he came. I thought he did,
okay, hang on
well.
a second. Let's just go back to Ten Hag a second there, and let's talk about the substitutes. Again, don't you think they're too late again? Too late to do anything again? 10 minutes ago,
He hasn't got anything on the bench though. To be fair,
No, can I? Let me just, Irfan, let me just come in here a second, bro. I personally expected for us to drop off a little bit and for them to naturally just try and keep the ball. They played a lot in their own half with the defenders, and then they'd fire through the middle. And then the idea is to just take an opportunity in the transition when we get it. We couldn't keep going forward, put in a lot for the first 50 minutes of that game. That was what I saw. So what happened there is you can say, yeah, we're relinquishing the possession. We dropped off. If you look at how deep Højlund was in the second half at 60 minutes plus, I kind of thought after the third goal, that's pretty much it. This game will end like this, just in a bit of a canter. All the actions happen, and that's more or less it. I wasn't expecting us to be able to absolutely fly again at them and get into the game. And every time we did get into the game, bro, the boys came second half.
Sorry, Baye. Will says Ollie at the wheel was king.
I've come back. So, bro, honestly, the narrative of the game that I saw, it was going the way I foresaw it to go. Honestly. And I've not been a massive fan of what I've seen with United. We've been on here and stuff, but honestly, I look at today. I feel that you guys, I'm not going to use silly words like deluded and that. That's just no good. But I just think that
we are
you
deluded.
Guys, you're not.
You can say that we're deluded.
No, I don't think you are. I think there's a lot of frustration. But honestly, sometimes, when we watch football, sometimes it might feel like you had like 60% possession, but you only have like 35, but you feel all right. You feel like we're in this game. I feel that we are well in this game. And I got that feeling tonight. I had it constantly throughout the game. But I knew after the third one went in, bro, after Højlund scored, I thought, right, tails are up. We can definitely get something out of this game. We deserve something out of this game at this point. We really did. But the penalty was never a penalty. We've not even spoken about the actual decisions.
Listen, in Europe, they give it. In Europe, they give that.
Do you know that's a shocking decision.
They give that Bombay in Europe,
and that's killed us, bro.
In Europe, that's a penalty. In Europe,
but
listen. At the end of the day, keep your arms to yourself. What is he doing? What is he doing?
Bro,
at the end of
the day,
I think it's soft. There's not. Do you know what's gone out of football? You know, all of you, if you've played football, whether there's any actual intent. And if that header is a hard header that you could regard as a cross that's going somewhere, it's going effectively nowhere. It's going nowhere. It's never a penalty to me, that. And that killed any momentum we had. And then they're thinking, we're at home, bro, let's just keep the ball away. So...
But my issue is, how many times are we going to say this exact same thing? I'm saying we could lose every single game this season, and the story will be the same.
Sean, look, let me...
20 minutes of brilliance, 20 minutes of brilliance, a missed chance here,
bro,
a bad call there. If only we didn't concede, we would have won the game.
Shawnee, bro, look, let me respond to you about this. There's no generalizations involved in my assessment of this singular game. We don't play well consistently. We have spells in games, and it's been like that since last season. And it's
been like that for the past decade.
Yeah, it has been. The word consistency is something that we're trying to acquire.
But I'm talking about this season, the first 6 or 7 games of this season. It's been the same story.
Bro, this stands. If you're asking me, Sean, if I was on the show tonight, and you guys are saying, how is Manchester United's general play being under Erik ten Hag? What are the criticisms? One of them would be that we lack consistency. But that's been the case, like Nuruddin said, for 10 years. But we're on here tonight talking about the 90 minutes that we saw this evening. And that's what I'm addressing. I'm not giving you, I'm just telling you, Sean, this is how I felt about tonight's game. That's it.
Okay. No, that's
Okay,
fair.
okay, guys,
Uh, uh,
I've heard both of you. You've
yeah.
been going at it for
Let
40
Jarvis
an
in
hour,
now. Come on.
right?
Come on.
Jarvis, how
Yes.
are you, brother? Sending you
I'm
love
fine,
and light
I'm fine.
always. Big
Yeah.
hugs. Talk to me. Give me your 2 pence of the game. By the way, there's over 400 of you in here, and we haven't even got 200 likes. I swear to God, some of you are like the Glazers. Some of you on this stream act like the Glazers. Absolutely stingy. Absolutely stingy. Jarvis, go ahead. We're listening. How did you see that game tonight?
Yeah, first of all, I think
Hey,
Ten Hag.
1 second, Jarvis. 1 second. Can you please mute yourself? Because all we can hear is you, man. I don't know what you're doing driving. Please mute yourself so we can hear Jarvis, please. Okay.
That's not me, Irfan.
Who is that?
I think it might have been me, sir.
That was Sean.
Okay,
Don't
sorry,
worry.
yeah, it must be driving. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, sorry, Boombaye. Go on, Jarvis.
I want to say first of all, I think Ten Hag set up the team okay. We went away against Bayern Munich. You know, we got to remember Bayern Munich is at the same level as Real Madrid, Manchester City, all the big ones. And we went away to the cave of the lion and playing against them, against 75,000 crazy, I would say, German fans. You could hear them all the time. You seldomly hear fans like that, even at the full packed Old Trafford. So, and you could see some of the players in the beginning when the Champions League hymn play. They were standing there. Some of them looked nervous, but I saw Højlund. He was smiling. I saw he was up for it, and he was really positive. I liked Højlund from the beginning. He's a big occasion player, and I think we can build on that. He will be a good asset to have in the next 10 years if we are good with his talent and use him in the right way. And I think we started good. Our press play is good. We locked down Bayern Munich when they tried to build up. We were good at that. We locked up 6 guys with 4 men, and Eriksen helped out, so we were 5 guys. And we forced Bayern Munich to play it long, so we won the ball back again. And sometimes we even won it high up the pitch, but we don't utilize our chances when we win the ball up high. I think we did it at least 4 to 5 times during the game. The worst one was in the second half when McTominay won the ball and gave it to Martial, and gave it back to McTominay, and he slipped on the 18-yard box line. So that's one of our biggest problems. We use a lot of effort and energy, and our game plan is set up to press high and win the ball high, but we don't do anything with it when we do it. So in a way, I understand why players get leggy. For example, Eriksen, who pressed high, but he also had to go all the way down again. And he's no box-to-box midfielder. He's a number 10 who can play as a number 8 because we don't have anyone else. So
Jarvis, we're 11th in the league, 11th in terms of holding possession. So there's 10 of the teams better than us, 10 teams better than us in the Premier League holding possession. Why the fuck are we playing Eriksen as a number 8? We're not a possession team. We treat the ball like a fucking hot potato. Why are we playing him there when defensively he's the liability?
Yeah, he's without a doubt. But the only option is because we need someone from deep who can play the long ball up, so we can be a threat. If not, Bayern Munich can just push up and compromise. So we need a threat from the back to the back room. So we need someone who can hit that ball. And the only option is Eriksen or Bruno. We have to play, and we have to use Bruno in the 10 because Bruno is best in the 10. We have seen that all along when he plays.
Yeah,
on the right,
but I'll ask you about Bruno. What is his positional discipline? What the fuck is he doing?
I don't know. The problem for me, the problem with Bruno is his rhythm of the game. Pep actually said this week in the interview that but Man United will come good, but we still haven't come into the rhythm of our style. And you know, a top manager like Pep, he understands. It's all about rhythm.
He was laughing at us, Jarvis. He was laughing at us. He laughed when they asked him the question. He was laughing at us.
Yeah, but he's down to the when you think about football, when you talk football, it's about details. And when Bruno for example, Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno, they don't have the rhythm together when they
There's
play.
no rhythm. They don't have fucking legs.
Yeah.
They don't have the legs.
It's any rhythm in the
Eriksen and
team.
Casemiro do not have the legs. I
Yeah, but
swear
I think-
to God, I would have played Hannibal tonight. I would have played Dango. Somebody who can actually go on, follow the person. Somebody who can follow the person, Jarvis. But go ahead.
Yeah, but you see it in our press play. Our press play is actually good.
Yeah,
we
listen,
shocked
in the
Bayern
Premier
Munich.
League, we're number one. We're number one in pressing.
Yeah,
We're the
we are.
highest, winning the ball up the pitch, not the
Mhm.
pressing. We actually do something called shadow pressing, right? Which is
Yeah.
disturbing. We don't press, but
Yeah.
winning the ball up the pitch, somehow we get it back. We're number one in the Premier League. Converting those, winning that high volume of balls in the last third, we absolutely do not convert it into goals. We do
Mhm.
not.
We're last in that statistics. It's a shocker. We're first in winning the ball and last in utilizing it. That's one of our main problems. And why? Because we don't know what to do when we win the ball. We don't have players who understand where to run, how to utilize the opportunity winning the ball high. And,
What was the positives you saw tonight, Jarvis?
well, the problem is, why doesn't Ten Hag address it? Why doesn't he figure out? Because he's a good manager. He should figure out how to fix
question,
it.
Jarvis. $1 million question.
What do you say,
Jarvis,
Sean?
No,
I
he
said-
said it's
I
a
said-
$1 million question.
So
He said
that's the
that's
$1 million
$1 million.
question, Jarvis. He said that's the $1 million question.
Yeah, it is. And also I see some things that negative. For example, that the Casemiro don't have legs anymore. We have seen it for 7 games. Why doesn't Ten Hag address it? Another problem is, why doesn't Ten Hag address Rashford's defensive play? Why doesn't he never tracks back? He jogs. For the first goal, if you see what happens on our right side. No, yeah.
On our left-hand side.
No, Regular and
Rashford on the left.
Rashford were defending, and they were both. Regular was deepest, and Rashford was number 2, and Bayern Munich played back and into the center, and Rashford he tried to just jog after it. He let him cut it.
That
does
was
something
30.
called-
That was 30 minutes into the game. 30 minutes into the. It's
Yeah.
a Champions League game. That's
Yeah, but he defended like a 16-year-old.
But
Yeah.
he does that. It's called shadow pressing. He
Yeah.
presses nothing but his own shadow. That's
Mhm,
what he does.
Yeah, but if
Jarvis,
you
what
press
was the
like that-
positives tonight? What was the positives? Second half, I thought we got schooled. Second half, they kept the ball. They bopped us all over that pitch. It was like, watch, if you close your eyes and then opened it again, it was like us against Brighton in the second half.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, but we know with football, goals influences the game, and we scored at 2-1. Suddenly we had the momentum, and then we got the penalty. So it's always like fine margins, and the penalty for me as a former footballer, there's no penalty. Okay, it hits his hand, but there's no penalty. And
But in the
another
Champions
thing,
League, in
when-
Europe,
when-
they
when it-
give it, Jarvis. They give it.
when
They
it
always
comes
give
to-
it.
when it comes to VAR and referees, why didn't they check the first one on Pilestri after 3 minutes? It's an open goal and he gets tackled. Why don't they didn't even check it? So that's what you get when you go away in Europe. It's the margins that go away, and you don't have them. So it's just one of those. I can't say I expected us to win today. I'm happy with some of the things that happened, but I won't be super negative, and I think we can build on this. There's a lot of positives we can take with us into the Burnley game, and I think we can turn this around when we get players back. When we have, can you see yourself? When we have Mainu, when we have Amrabat, when we have Mason Mount, we have people with legs who can actually press and do something with the ball when we win it. I think we can turn this around.
What were the positives, Jarvis, for you?
Yeah, we scored 3 goals against Bayern Munich away on Allianz Arena. That's good.
They've been
It's not many
conceding
teams
goals
can-
this season. They've been conceding goals, and 2 of them were one of them was a free kick. The second goal was actually good. The second goal was good because we had a bit of a linked up play between 3 players. But the other one was just a header run. It was a free kick, so I don't know.
I can give you a positive, but it will trigger you. Martial was really good when he came on.
Listen, if
Martial
I tell you he
is
was
back.
good, then he must have been done something right, Dino.
Mm.
But you know, it's refreshing. I'm glad Jarvis came on here and rescued it.
Yeah, but look, we know. Look, Martial's got more football intelligence than Rashford. That's fact. You know,
Mm.
that's fact. He has.
Yeah.
It's just a shame he's like a got that guy on Bambi on skates or something. That's the problem with this guy. You just can't keep him for 15 minutes. You know.
But the good
Listen,
thing with Martial, he got rhythm. He understand the game. When he got the ball, he got rhythm. Sometimes he knows when to hold the ball, and he knows when to play the ball, and that's a good thing to give him some positives. But
But
he created rhythm into our attack again when he came in.
Jarvis, but we lack a link-up play from the number 9, number 10, and the wing. We don't have that triangle moving there to help each other. It's always like a solo individual trying to create something for something else, where it's going to take a bit of brilliance. There's no fluidity up top. There just isn't. We don't have it. We just don't have that at the top. That's why I'm
at the
thinking.
moment, what's the most worrying thing? That the types of goals we're conceding, the amount of space in the box, the amount of people, Casemiro and Ericsson, the lack of protection. Last season, Casemiro was unstoppable in terms of that trio: Varane, Casemiro, Martinez.
Yeah.
That trio were like solid.
Mm.
This season, the opposite.
I
Varane
think,
goes missing as usual. Martinez, to me, still not recovered from that injury, and Casemiro looks like he's 70. He's ready for retirement.
think,
He's ready to give up the pension.
let me just say, I wasn't somebody that wanted to get rid of De Gea at the start of the year, but when Onana's come in myself, I can already notice the impact that he's having, because sometimes we're able to start a little bit further because they're not pushing up as much because they know it's futile against somebody like that. He also seems to be able to find our players, sometimes the defenders, they are starting even within their front line is ahead of our defenders sometimes. And I noticed in games that they're not going and pressing us and pushing us sometimes. And he had a lot of time on the ball today to pick and choose his passes. His impact on the team is very
Yeah.
important.
Teams
Now
are
let me
scared.
just let
Teams
me
are
just
scared
say
to
this.
press us.
Let me just say this. I believe part of what we're seeing now is the evolution of what Ten Hag wants. And the reason I say that, even the secondary keeper that we bought is competent with his feet. This is a fundamental part of taking this team to the next stage. If you take Edison out of Manchester City, they're a completely different proposition altogether. He's fundamental to them. He allows them the time to get the overloads when they want to start sometimes the moves. So for me, we're watching a team evolve, but it's got a lot of problems. And these problems, in large part, are our manager, unfortunately, has seldom had his best starting 11 for one game, let alone a run of 7 or 8 of these games. And this is very, very, I have to empathize with that. But Onana is a massive change to the way this team is going to be expected to play. You just have to wait. And I believe he is going to turn it around. Today, I'm walking away. I swear to God, I'm not bullshitting. I've spent last hour taking flack. Today is a very positive game for me, considering what I expected. And this is something you're going to be able to build on. And I'm confident we'll go to Burnley and hopefully we will get the points. This season will turn around. But you have to empathize with the kind of bench you're looking at. Guys, this is Bayern Munich. It doesn't matter if they're conceding goals. They're conceding goals. We gave them 3 goals tonight. There you go. And we also gave them 2 free shit goals. One was an Onana mistake and a penalty that never was. Other than that, I didn't see us getting peppered. I didn't see us getting mauled. Yeah, they kept the ball, but I thought we put in such a shift. At a certain point, it was natural we're going to drop off. Hoyland looked dead. And at 65, 70 minutes, I thought, you know what, this game, that's it now. The action is done. That's what they'll do. And they'll choose their moments. That's
Every
all
time
it
we
was.
score,
It
every
wasn't
time,
bro. The way the game went, Dino, I promise you, we had the wind knocked out of us, and we didn't deserve it,
yeah, exactly. And
right?
Nicole Rogers
And
gives us
it's
here. Look,
and
the
it's
time when we
difficult
go
to get back
when
in.
we get scored in on is worrying. You learn at a young age, when you score, stay focused, high pressure the next 5 minutes. Yeah, Nicole, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Do you know what I mean? It's these are teething problems with the development of the team. And we're developing at the moment with some deficiencies in terms of what should be available to us that is not. You look, man, there are a lot of good things happening in this team, I swear to you. But
One of the best
it's,
comments
you
of the
just,
night here.
yeah.
By 1 second. The tactics has changed, Nuruddin. Eric Ten Hag is high disjointed press, which is isolating Cas and the defense. Facts. 100% facts. And Casemiro is on the worst form ever in terms of his positioning, all of his know-how, all that's gone. His legs are gone. And we try to implement this style. Go ahead, Bombay.
I think, look, you've got to wait. It is the right of people. The question is, are we going anywhere with Eric Ten Hag? That's what people are asking. And the tide has turned significantly on this podcast. Now, for me, I'm not even going to entertain that sort of question at this point. I need to see what this team looks like with Onana and the full team with Amrabat. What does Amrabat actually bring? What is Mason Mount been brought in here for? I think I have an idea, and I think that these players could help when we do dispossess the team in the final third. I think they will be a help to us as well. It won't be as isolated. Anthony's not there, man. He's a big miss. He gives you balance.
I don't miss him actually.
No, I miss him. I miss
sorry,
him.
I don't.
He gives you.
No, I'm
bro,
sorry, Bumbaye. I do
balance,
not miss Anthony.
and
I do
listen,
not miss Anthony.
balance
Anthony does the
is
same shit.
important.
Come inside,
No.
shoot the ball. That's what he does. I'm sick
bro.
of that shit. And it's actually been refreshing to see Pelestri today actually get back and fight and actually worry somebody. One of the quickest footballers in the world is Alfonso Davies, one of the quickest in the world football. And I thought Pelestri gave them a bit of a time. And if he was a bit more match proven, he would have done something.
Did well. Yeah, no, he did well. I was happy to see him. But you know what? You have players with bigger stature for a game like this. He's a left footer, naturally wide player. Balance is important in a team, bro. I'm not saying Palestra didn't do good. I'd love to see him. I picked him in my team. But point is, bro, we not even had chance to see what our manager's vision is supposed to look like because we've just not had anyone available since the start of the season. You've got to empathize with that. So when I see that, then we will go. Then I'll know. It needs time, man, and some patience. That's all. If this season is all about, if he drops out the top four, do I think getting another manager in is going to solve anything? No. And I'm not ready to even entertain that. Like I say, I've not seen what Eric Ten Hag's supposed to be able to do with the tools because the tools are always broken.
Nobody is saying Eric Ten Hag out here, but
people I know that.
Rightfully criticizing Eric Ten Hag's decision making in midfield. Playing Eriksen as a number 8 is shocking. He can't run. The guy's playing with a pacemaker. He's becoming a defensive liability. And this high press stuff, we might win the ball back, but we don't do the things that need to be done. And
you associate the number 8 with a you associate the number 8, let's say, with a person that goes up and down. He's not that player. He's never been that player. He's a playmaker.
Liability.
He's a playmaker, and he's playing a little bit deeper.
But why have a playmaker? We can't keep the ball properly. We can't keep possession.
For exactly that reason, to try and keep the ball. That's what he does.
But he can't.
No, he does. He affects the games in the right way, but defensively, it's a trade-off.
No,
this is why I said. This is why I said last season. I changed my mind. I changed my mind about a defensive midfielder, and I wanted a ball-playing midfielder that has a little bit more agility. I changed my mind about that. Eriksen is the best that you've got right now to do, and it does affect games in a positive way. But tonight, he does.
He's become a liability. I'm sorry, we have to agree to disagree with this. This season, Eriksen since he's played, he's become a huge defensive liability. Huge defensive liability. And big up Sean, by the way. Go and check out his podcast, How We See Things. Make sure you follow Jarvis Cocker. Bowley77, Irfan Rainey on Twitter and on Instagram. Bumbaye is never on social media, comes in here and he basically watches different games to us, to the rest of us. So big up to him for always standing by his principles.
Excuse me.
Big up to him.
Not special TV. We don't. You haven't got the same one as us. He's got a different one.
Do you know what I've got? Not a special TV. I've got a special hat. I put up with you bozos, man. That's what I do.
Facts.
It's from
Somebody's got to.
Nuruddin. The TV you need to buy is called Rose Tinted FC. You need to buy that TV. They make TVs. We haven't got one, but he's got one.
Listen, last word. I'll go around. Jarvis, last word of the show.
Yeah, yesterday I watched Barcelona play against Antwerpen. They won 5-0. They have a midfield of Gundogan, Frenkie de Jong, and Gavi.
Wow.
All of those three, they are small players. None of them are, I don't know, they 1.70 meters high.
Yeah.
And they are so technical on the ball. They are brilliant. They're like three magicians.
Sorry, who's in the midfield again? Jarvis is Gundogan.
No, Gundogan, Frenkie de Jong, and
Frenkie de
Gavi.
Jong.
Gavi.
Gavi.
Oh yeah, Xavi.
Yeah. And
Three little
and-
wizards.
and-
You got three little wizards there. Little wizards.
three
you have.
little wizards, and they were dominating the game. And the way they pass the ball, it's flawless every time. Perfect pass, perfect when they receive it. The ball is the timing of everything is so good. And you know, that's what I wish we could go for. Sometimes I wish us to go for players who can play ball, like real ballers.
Yeah,
But we don't have
Jarvis-
any. The closest we have is, as Bombaye is saying, is Ericsson. He's a playmaker, but you know, he's not at that age anymore. He's not good enough. That's a big problem. But he's the only playmaker we have. So what are we going to do? That's a big problem for us, because we want to play a way of Ajax, Barcelona style of play. So
Can
for
I
me,
just
I
ask the
think-
question?
yeah.
Adrian Barker, what am I not listening to? What are you talking about? And El Menso, I am a BICTH. I don't understand football. What are you on about? Ericsson has become a defensive liability. You two are just trolling me. That's all you're doing. Finish your point, Jarvis.
Yeah, my point is I just want us to move on and start scouting and buying players at that caliber, because okay, Casemiro is brilliant, but he's not like Modric. He's not that good. We need more players like Pirlo and Modric and Gavi, and there's so many of them. And you see City, when City buy players, they buy midfielders like that.
Tab,
If
you
it
know
was up
what's,
to me, Adrian Barker, I would play Donny, but I'm not. And Donny needs to leave this football club as soon as he can. Bumbaye, keep it short, please, quickly. Last point of the show.
Yeah, I mean, if we just move on from what Jarvis is saying, the Ajax team, the heartbeat of it was Frenkie de Jong, and he really wanted him. And instead of Frenkie de Jong, we've actually got a profile of player in Casemiro that is not like that. We've also bought Amrabat that, to me, I don't think is like that. Ericsson, you can say, could play in a team with those types of players.
Can I ask you a question? What
so-
kind of
so-
a player do you think Amrabat is? Bumbaye, 1 second. What kind of a player do you think Amrabat is?
A defensive player that puts out fires, strong. He's got up and down. His passing, short range passing, from what I see, I don't see anything like Gundogan and these kind of guys.
Okay. Have you ever watched him play for Fiorentina?
No.
He's one of the. He had the best. He was the number one passes into the last third, long and short range passes. He's a ball playing midfield player.
Okay, that's what we
That's
need.
who it is.
So this is why we need to wait for Ten Hag to implement him in. Mason Mount is another one that I think is going to be very interesting for us and very good for us. But we've not had the chance to see him, and he's already getting lambasted. For me, just finish off by saying I fully support the manager, and I think there's a lot more to come from Manchester United.
Okay, big up to you. El Mosso says, Mr. Structure, you're saying Ericsson out. Yeah, Ericsson is a defensive liability. He's got a pacemaker. I'm not having him in my midfield. He's never a number 8. He's a number 10. He's up the pitch. He makes the big difference for Denmark up the pitch, not behind. Defensive liability, I'm not having that when Casemiro is on a simmer frame right next to him. I'm not having that. You can get that into your head. And yes, I am absolutely glad to see that one-trick pony come inside and shoot. Anthony's out of the fucking team. I'm happy about that. I am so happy about that. That's my answer. Irfan, quickly, last word on the show. He's not there. My last word of the show is Manchester United are in trouble. We're in trouble in terms of the goals that we conceded. Erik ten Hag has tried to play this high-pressing game, isolates Casemiro, who's on horrendous form. Well done for his 2 goals tonight. Too little, too late for me. Eriksen is a massive defensive liability. And teams are playing on the Eriksen and at the back of Eriksen and at the back of Casemiro. And our defense is not getting protected. And it's such a shame. They're not doing great either defensive-wise because they keep giving the keys to the penalty area to every attacker that we get lately. Odegaard, Arsenal, same space. Brighton, 3 goals in the same spaces. Tonight, again, that guy who used to play for Arsenal had 10, 15 yards of space to score the second goal. Shocking. Erik ten Hag needs to stop being so stubborn. And for me, I'm not putting it all on Kobe Manu as an 18-year-old to save our season. It has to come better than that. But yes, I agree. The team is full. Our squad is full of injuries. I warned about this. I was moaning about this, and people were calling me negative. And I was doing it at January. Jarvis will be my witness.
Yeah.
I was saying this next season, this could affect us, the fatigue. All of it, chickens have come home to roost for Erik ten Hag. The Premier League is one of the most physically demanding leagues in the world. It exposes you for everything you are. And as a football club, fish always rots from the head. And now, Maguire wasn't injured. Everybody and every Tom and Dick and Harry understands that. Maguire was not injured. He was dropped for indiscipline, and that's why he was left. My positives tonight was Højlund, 20-year-old, did the graveyard shift up the pitch tonight, scored a goal. Welcome, Manchester United fan. He got robbed of a goal on Saturday, but he got a goal tonight. I don't care how scrappy it was. I don't care if it came off his backside, it came off his ear. It's a goal. Reguilón, playing for a contract. You can see the guys playing for a contract. Defensively, iffy, but going forward, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I hope that some people can finish the balls that he puts on the box. That's the only thing. Second half, we got schooled. I'm sick of watching Manchester United get fucking schooled. But anyway, Therapy Army, you know who the blame lies with. You know where we're at. And to me, today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer exposed himself for what he was. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was an interim manager at Manchester United. That's all he was ever as. Today, he exposed himself because him coming out and saying the indiscipline, making it sound like he wasn't in the dressing room and he wasn't the manager of Manchester United. It's absolutely shocking. I know why he did the interview, because he wants to get back in the news and he wants to come and get a job. But some of the stuff that he came out with, for me, it was his opportunity to tell the truth about the Glazers. Not to do it indirectly, he had to do it directly. And he refused to do that, and shame on him. But I agreed with some of the stuff he did say. But a lot of the stuff that he said, it showed me that he's not a manager that has got able to manage a big club, because he was talking like he was just a fly on the wall. And I'm sorry, when you talk about the Glazers and the owners, you have to talk about it directly. Do not be a coward. That's all I have to say. I'm not doing a video about it. I'm not doing anything, because to me, the only words I wanted to hear from Solskjaer was how bad and how hard it was to work under the bankers and the owners of that football club. Instead, he was going around houses and trees saying, "Oh, I was only allowed to sign 3 players." Why were you only allowed to sign 3 players? Anyway, don't get me started. Tonight was shocking, guys. Second half, first half, yeah. First half, surprisingly, first 28 minutes. But I'm sorry, Erik ten Hag, you and your Jackie Norrie stories, Game, it's not 28 minutes, it's not 20 minutes, not 25 minutes, not half an hour. Game is in the Premier League, it's almost 100 minutes, and in Europe, it's 90 odd minutes. Love, light, look after yourselves. This has been the therapy session. I'm afraid we go again on Saturday, eh? Jarvis, as a fellow Norwegian, I'll give you the right of reply. Am I wrong about what Ollie? Did you see Ollie's interview? Quickly.
I saw the interview, and as I know, Ollie, he's really a polite guy, and he don't like to slag anyone. It's in his soul to be polite. He's really well raised, so I don't think he's that kind of guy who will confront anyone out open. But you could read something of his saying between the lines, and I think he had some critics to the Glazers, and it gave at least me some insight in how it is to manage Man United. So I wouldn't be that harsh on him, and I think truth will prevail, but not today.
Thank you so much. To me, he should have told the truth. He's a fan of this football club. He's a legend of this football club as a player. He should have told the truth about the Glazers. There's no indirectness. Tell the truth. You owe it to the fans on it. Love, light, take care of each other. Bankers out, Glazers out. You know where the blame lies. And Eric Ten Hag, self-preservation, because the bankers and the owners will throw you under the bus soon as they get that opportunity. Please, self-preservation. You cannot play Eriksen as a number 10. Drop Bruno, play Eriksen as a number 10. Try him for 2 or 3 games. You will see the difference. But playing Bruno as a number 8 is not working. It's defensively so naive, and it's becoming a huge liability. Peace, love, light, take care. Smash a like on the video on your way out. It's been over 400 of you in here. Big up to Jarvis, like I said. Bowley77. Make sure you follow him. Bayern, never see him on social media. All he does is the United prop here. I'm Airfan Rainey at Airfan Rainey on Instagram and at Airfan Rainey on Twitter. It's been a brilliant tonight, people. Peace, love, light. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And make sure you check out Sean Thomas on Twitter, and make sure you check out the podcast How We See Things. It's available on your podcast, and make sure you also check out Tom Journalist 1 on Twitter, or what we call X now. Peace, love, light. Take care, people. We can't afford to drop Rashford. We've got nobody else. Take care, people. Big up Denai as well. Big up my brother Denai. Go and check out his YouTube show. Great show always, Nordin. Love and light, brother. Big love. Take care. Lasers out, bankers out. Bayern needs to go sleep with that yard. Take care. Good night.